Hi, continuing my series on animals and learning about them so we can learn to have respect for them. Today I'm going to talk about deer, dogs, and pigs. Yes, deer, dog, and pigs. So we're going to start off with deer. I'm just going to ramble off some quick facts. Deer. There's about 50 species of deer. Many are actually endangered, such as the musk deer, the hog deer, and the Parisian fallow. Obviously in various parts of the world. There's many members of the deer family or subspecies, such as the moose, the reindeer, elk, and even antelope. The sizes vary. The smallest is in South Pudu, P-U-D-U, about 2 pounds or 14 inches tall. I'm sorry, 20 pounds, 14 inches tall, so the size of a small dog. And the largest is the moose, over 6 feet tall, up to the shoulders, and up to 1,800 pounds. Males are called bucks, or adult males are called bucks, or large ones are called stags. Females, young ones, are called doe or fawn, and males have the antlers that grow annually, except the Chinese water deer. And the caribou or reindeer, both males and females have antlers. The antlers are covered in a velvet-like feeling coating that is full of nerves and blood cells until fully grown, and then they die off. Many hunt them for their racks or for a trophy like a taxidermy. Socially, they live in groups or herds. Caribou can have up to 1,000 in a herd or more. Most are active during sunrise and sunset, or dusk and dawn, and during daylight hours. They are herbivores. They forage and they chew after they already collect the food, which is called cud. They breed, or the gestation period is 180 to 240 days. They have 1 to 3 offspring at a time, again called fawn or calves if they're small. Hunting does leave orphans, but it is better than factory farms. Look up a factory farm video, especially of birds, who are nearly all from factory farms and most abused for so little flesh per animal. Yes, they do leave orphans hunting. They can swim, jump, and take their first steps within 30 minutes of birth. They stay with their mother for about 1 year. They can reach speeds of 30 miles per hour. There are about 6 million killed annually, probably more, but that's what's reported by conservation non-conservation groups, hunting groups. And my sources were Live Science Facts and Action Bioscience. Now we're going to talk about dogs. Animal Planet. Actually, speaking of dogs, we had a collie. My parents have a collie that actually looks like a deer. My mother is worried because they do live in the country. I live in New York City, but they live in the country. And they think if they are near the wood line, someone will mistake them for a deer, the collie. So dogs, there's many different breeds. Over 340 are recognized. There are bad sides to breeding, definitely. Many will use a small sample and breed with them, even incest, which if they have a genetic inferiority or a problem, that'll be passed down to many. So if you have a small sample and you're breeding from a small sample, it's going to create a lot of long-term problems and conditions that are passed down. So it's a lot of incest, and they can have breathing issues like pugs when they're bred too much, and bad traits. Now, Animal Planet also reports the good aspect of uses of dogs. They're for the blind, police dogs for sniffing, narcotics and such. And it's been shown that dogs have feelings of jealousy, like if one animal gets a treat and they are left out. You have other species like greyhounds that are used for racing, which is very sketchy. I don't trust that industry. You can do your own research, but they can reach up speeds of up to 45 miles per hour. Dogs can actually sweat, but it's on their pads of their paw, and they do pant, obviously, to cool down, as well as shed fur. Please do not leave your dogs in a hot car, just like children. Puppies are born with no teeth, actually, and they're blind and deaf. Obviously, that changes very quickly. They can hear 4 times better than humans. Thus, a dog will bark at the door before you even know it. 80% of them, of people, give their dogs presents on their birthdays or holidays. So America has a love-hate relationship with animals and pets, because then we kill millions in shelters that are put down due to breeders or overbreeding and puppy mills. You can look up puppy mills in the fur industry, which also uses types of dogs, fox, raccoons, rabbits, and certain breeds of dogs that are mislabeled and often imported from places like China even. But we kill millions in shelters while people who don't adopt but shop. We tail and ear dock them and don't fix them and such. So there are problems. Dogs are shown to have the same physical development as a 5-year-old and have the brain capacity of a toddler. They can understand 250 words and count to 5, actually, according to Animal Planet. And so let's get on to pigs. Pigs are actually smarter than dogs, suffer the same, are conscious, aware. This is the source from the pig site and Animal Planet as well. Pigs have known to save humans just like dogs. Priscilla saved a drowning boy. You can look up the stories. They oink, grunt, and squeal. It's a way of communicating or distress. Many are used for hot dogs, baking, ham, and pork. But they are smarter than dogs. They are also omnivores. Their nose is great for smelling. There's about 2 billion pigs in the world. There's 9 billion people, and overpopulation is real because we are deforesting, overfishing, have sick fish farms like factory farms, and are polluting the land, water, and air. So we are one of the most destructive species. But there's 2 billion pigs, 9 billion humans. Most of them live on sick factory farms and are force bred. They eat almost anything. They have known to cuddle with each other to sleep and actually dream, have REM sleep. They can run 11 miles per hour. Feral ones can have a negative side effect to the ecosystem, not the wild ones. They can pass diseases onto humans like swine flu for lack of care that they gave them. Which they tried to rename H1N1 to take away the stereotypes. They are actually very clean animals. They cool themselves off in mud. It's a way of cooling. Many species, I believe elephants even do that, many species cool themselves with mud and use it as a form of sunscreen. But they are very clean. They're smarter than 3-year-old kids and very curious and sociable. Some actually have them as pets. Now, the small teacup ones, I don't know a ton about that, but I do have heard and done some research, and some of them do not feed them a sufficient diet, so it stunts their growth. So please look into it. And then some grow way bigger than people intend, and then they wind up discarding them. Because there is no way to know what their full-grown size is, unless if you get one that is at least a couple years old. So, they are very sensitive creatures. They suffer the same. They actually can recognize their mother's voice within hours of birth. And their mothers actually sing to them and such. And at 2 weeks old, they know their names. So they're very smart creatures. And they even been shown to play video games in some cases with their nose. So have respect for dogs, pigs, and deer. Conservation. Humans overpopulate it, not wildlife. And we are the most destructive species. Look up a factory farm video and how we treat billions of pigs. Many live in tiny cages. Nearly all come from factory farms, especially birds. And dogs. Look up the fur industry. Puppy mills. Adopting. The Iditarod. Alaska dog race. Dog fighting. And shelters that put down millions of dogs a year. So please speak out against those issues like the fur industry and such, and please care. Now, my information on the pigs were from the Pig site, Animal Planet, Action, Bioscience, and Live Science were my facts. So there you have it, deer, dogs, and pigs, and please help control the human population too, not just have your pet spayed and neutered. So thank you. Thanks for caring. Check out mercyforanimals.org, meatvideo.com, and the Humane Society. Thank you.